When generative algorithms learn to automatically scrub their own digital fingerprints and deepfake voice clones are deployed to manipulate elections, the core question shifts from simply "what happened" to "is this evidence even real?" Welcome to another edition of reWant Courseware here at the John Jay College of Criminal Justice. Traditional digital forensics was built on the assumption that recorded data was a reliable witness, but modern AI fabrication breaks that entire foundation. Today, an investigator must authenticate the evidence itself before they can begin to analyze what the data actually says. In the early years of digital forensics and incident response, or DFIR, the primary challenge was recovery. An examiner would image a local hard drive and hunt for the specific files a suspect tried to hide or delete. The current threat landscape is defined by scale and operational complexity. Ransomware as a service allows organized groups to lease their infrastructure to affiliates, a model that enabled the 2023 attacks on MGM Resorts. Those incidents resulted in over $100 million in losses and required forensic teams to reconstruct breach timelines from massive, distributed cloud logs. Adversaries now use generative models to produce synthetic financial documents, deepfake videos, and cloned audio recordings at machine speed. This sheer volume of fabricated evidence makes manual review completely impossible. Forensic teams are forced to rely on the same machine learning technologies their adversaries use to triage millions of files and identify statistical anomalies. To understand the shift to AI fabrication, we look at the history of anti-forensics. Generation 2 focused on concealment. Attackers used a technique called timestamping to move a file's timestamps outside the investigative window, hoping to hide their activity from an examiner's timeline. Forensic tools defeat this by looking at the master file table. As this diagram shows, NTFS file systems store timestamps in two distinct attributes: standard information and the deeper file name attribute. Most timestamping tools only modify the surface standard information attribute. If an examiner finds a file where that surface time predates the deeper file name timestamp, they have technical proof of manipulation. While these concealment tactics were deceptive, they left behind structural anomalies that could be identified using fixed system rules and manual verification. Generation 3 threats are designed to evade those fixed rules. Generative adversarial networks, or GANs, treat detection as a training signal. Every time a forensic detector identifies a spectral artifact in a synthetic image, the generator updates its process to remove that specific fingerprint in the next iteration. Attackers also employ gradient perturbation. They apply imperceptible pixel-level noise to a file that is invisible to human observers, but calculated to maximize the error in an AI classifier. This forces the forensic tool to misclassify the synthetic media as authentic with high confidence. This technology has moved from research labs to active operations, such as the 2024 New Hampshire robocall case. In that incident, an AI-generated voice clone of the president was used to target 5,000 voters, bypassing traditional signature-based security filters. This defines the core tension of modern forensics. AI is simultaneously the primary threat enabler for fabrication and the essential tool for detecting it. It is an asymmetric contest. Single-modality detectors, tools that only look for one type of artifact, are consistently defeated, because adversaries can adapt their models to exploit known algorithmic blind spots. Relying on a single channel of detection, such as frequency domain analysis alone, is no longer sufficient. Modern GANs can be trained to smooth out those specific frequency signatures. Forensic examiners must adopt a multimodal analysis strategy. This requires cross-referencing multiple channels at once: spectral audio artifacts, lighting physics, spatial inconsistencies like lip-sync errors, in C2PA content credentials. This strategy succeeds because of the physical and temporal complexity involved. While an AI model might generate a perfect voice or a convincing face in isolation, it struggles to maintain physical consistency across multiple dimensions simultaneously. Advanced forensic suites provide the data, but the examiner provides the expert testimony. To survive legal scrutiny under standards like Daubert, an investigator must possess the credentials to validate their methodology in a courtroom. Different career paths require specific certifications. The CHFI is recognized under the DoD 8140 framework for government roles, while the GCFA is frequently favored by consulting firms for advanced breach investigations and threat hunting. The utility of a certification is determined by its alignment with an examiner's specific employer type, the technical skill level of the role, and the maintenance burden required to keep the credential active. Automated fabrication creates a landscape where the technical record is no longer self-authenticating. A highly certified human investigator provides the independent verification that ensures digital evidence remains admissible. Like, follow, and subscribe for more deep dives into emerging technology, digital investigations, and the ideas shaping our future. And remember, stay curious and want knowledge.